Hi everyone, and welcome to the second episode of A Raid with Sitoxity. Today we're going to do a PMC run on Shoreline, but before we go into it, I wanted to start things off a little bit differently than the scav run and kind of go over the loadout I'm using right now and just kind of go through the thought process behind it. So, when I do my Shoreline runs, if I'm not doing a quest, since I'm not doing one right now, this is what we're doing. It's kind of a money run. So I like to do it at night because it's a little bit quieter and I feel like it's a bit easier to take my time with it. So we're running some night vision on this helmet. The reason we're using this helmet is because in one of my scav crates I got this armor plate for it, which is a really high armor class actually. So I decided to try it out. Fits on this helmet. We can use the night vision with it, so it's a nice little combination there. We've got our class 4 armor. It's kind of a cheap armor because I was running kind of poor lately. We're not looking too poor right now. We're getting close to 7 million. The Swordens is just my favorite headset in the game. And then I decided to try and use a P90. So this isn't how I usually build the P90. Mainly because I use a different optic usually. I'll either stick the Valde variable scope on it or the PK06 because it's kind of the red that I like. But I want to try out this new one that they added recently because it kind of looks cool. And I've used it in the hideout and I think it could be quite interesting to use. It's not a long range loadout, so it's mainly for fighting inside the resort if it comes to it. We have our meds. I usually take an IFAC and a morphine. Sometimes I take the AI2 as well, just for some healing when I'm not bleeding and stuff like that. The IFAC itself, it stops bleeding, so it's useful, and it only takes one slot. It has a lot of HP value in it. The morphine is just for quick painkiller when I need it. I picked up some flashbangs on a scav run, so with the grenades left over, I'm just alternating flashbangs and grenades just for effectiveness. And then our gamma, since I've not talked about this yet, I like to set out spare ammo for when I need to pack mags. We're taking 2 stacks. I usually like to take 2 stacks. We have our surgery kit if we black out a limb and have an opportunity to heal it, especially arms and legs, because if the arms go, aiming's a bit harder. If the legs go, can't really run without hurting yourself. Can't run at all unless you're on painkiller medication. We've got our ibuprofen. It's a big stack, so when we run out of our morphine and if we need to limp out or anything, we've got that just in case. A spare IFAC if we need to do a lot of healing, and our sick case. So our sick case has all our Shoreline keys in it right now. All the ones I have are kind of whittled down to the ones I find the most useful and the most profitable. We can go into some of the rooms a bit when we get into the actual raid. So another reason we're doing a nighttime run is because one of my final tasks, trying to get the Kappa container, which is a bigger container than the Gamma container, and it's a reward for completing all the quests. We have this quest here, kill 30 PMCs during nighttime, 23 to 04. So we're a little bit progress in it, but it just means when we're doing a money run like this, we can still make progress to a quest, because this isn't actually map specific, so we can go on any map for it. So that's kind of why I'm using all this stuff right now. If there's anything else I forgot to go over, maybe I'll remind myself when we get into raid, so let's just go in. We'll pick this one. It's close enough to 2300 that it should be fine once we get in raid. So I like to just ensure everything that I have on me. So here we go. Let's load up and hopefully get a good run. So as I was ensuring my gear there, I realized I didn't actually mention my backpack and rig. Tri-zip is my kind of go-to backpack when I don't want to spend too much money. Otherwise I'd go for the Attack 2 because it's much larger. The tri-zip's just kind of a good size. You can fit a lot of stuff in it, and if I kill someone with a bigger one, I could just dump it or put it inside it, depending on what would be quicker. The rig, the Triton's just a good general rig that I buy all the time. it's got a decent amount of slots. I usually like to fill up one whole slot with the meds, so the IFAK and the morphine, leave a slot empty and the rest with magazines. I decided I'm spending far too much money on ammo and magazines, so I'm only using 3 magazines. With a P90, that's not so bad, because you get 50 rounds per magazine, and the only reason that I usually take more is because the P90 magazines in particular take a very, very long time to pack when you're in raid. So this will make me play a little bit differently, a little bit more cautiously, and hopefully spare my ammo a little bit. We do have a lot of spare if we do need to pack, it just will take a lot of time to actually pack the magazines. So, once we get in raid, our goal, essentially, is going straight to the resort. So it will be a little bit faster than the scav run we did. It won't be taking our time. We'll be trying to get there as quick as possible to try and be the first one there. If we're the first one there, it gives us more chance that we're looting rooms that are not open already. So we can unlock them ourselves and actually get some loot. So, first things first, we can put on our night vision. Every time I come into raid, I check my gun. So check the chamber, don't really need to. Full, we're on full auto. Flashlight to laser, switch it off again. And I believe we're going this way. I'm not 100% sure where we spawn, but once I find something that is a bit more of a landmark than these pylons and trees, I'll be able to figure out exactly where I am. So like I said, we're pop over straight to the resort if we can. And see if we can get there early enough that we can get some loot. Another thing I should probably mention about this P90 is that I've thrown on the front and rear iron sights on it. I've kind of got into the habit of doing this, and I'm not 100% sure if it's accurate or not, but I believe it gives you more ergonomics, which just makes you ADS faster. And ADSing faster is always going to be useful. I actually kind of need to take off my night vision for a sec and just kind of figure out where I am and what I'm looking at. I think we're going up here. I think this is the resort up here. I got kind of lost. It's kind of disorientating sometimes when I load into a night raid, especially when I've got a spawn that I'm not too familiar with. So we did run a little bit the wrong way to begin with, but now we're approaching the resort. We need to keep an ear out for any fighting or anyone else running this way. So, keeping my head on a swivel, looking at everything. People can climb up here. I do it from that angle sometimes, depending on when I spawn. We're gonna just jump up these rocks. And because we're on this side, we're gonna come in this way. This is the most profitable ring, in my opinion. And it has most of the rooms that I like to loot. So it's kind of nice that we spawned on this side and kind of close to the resort. Now that we're here, we can slow it down a little bit. Just take our time, listen out more than anything. Just to hear if there's anyone actually in there before us, because it is possible. People can be really sneaky and really fast in this game, so you have to be careful. Never assume you're the first one there. Always assume there's someone with you. The resort I used to be absolutely terrified of, and I'd avoid it as much as possible when I was needing to do Shoreline for my quest. I'm getting a bit more used to fighting in it now. Even in the day, I think I'm gonna like to bring a flashlight with me, because inside can get pretty dark. So, the way I like to loot it, I like to come to the 3rd floor first. It's not the best rooms, but they have some nice ones. So we're opening 310 right now. 310 has some high value spawns, so I like to open it, close the door. We've got a horse statue, we've got a gold chain, we've got a roller. So, I'll move my meds out, throw those in there. The horse isn't as valuable as these, so we'll keep these. And then just for habit's sake, I'll check the duffels just in case there's something nice in these. We'll take the painkillers for now. It's always nice having spare meds. G-phone's not bad money, and the tape we're using for a trade, so we'll take that. So out we go. Keep checking down the corridor. I'm still keeping my ears open, and we move on to this next room, 313. Hop in here. Again, close the door. And we've got a little spawn up here. Sometimes, apparently, I've never found it myself, it can spawn a LEDX, which is a good chunk of money. Today we got just this stim. We'll hop over to the next room. These shelves can have some nice barter items sometimes. Absolutely nothing just now. Weapon crates have been kind of garbage. This table, underneath it as well, sometimes spawns weapon parts too. And because I have this key, I can unlock this door. And come out. Then off to 316. Keep looking around while I unlock the door. Close the door back up. And start looting the weapon crates in here. So these things, definitely not wanting those. Bigger weapon crate. Nothing. What a surprise. We've got some weapon mods here. Nothing too exciting. Some BT ammo. I'll take that because they're not terrible bullets. And we'll take the foregrip too. Again, it's just stuff we can drop if we find something better. There is a med case here, but I don't like risking that too much. Some of these rooms have rooms connected to them, some don't. That room didn't. And in this room we have the pig. Sometimes things spawn on this side of him. Things spawn in this ear. But sometimes he has some nice things on here. Again today, not so lucky. So keep checking. The one key left I have on here is over here. Check the stairs up and down because up here is onto the roof. So this storeroom key opens this door, which is sometimes okay. Things can spawn in here. We got some dollars. We can throw that in our case to keep it safe. And then this room, we've got a graphics card. So now we need to prioritize what we actually want. So I kind of want to keep some of these things, and we're definitely keeping the graphics cards because we need it. So that's going in the gamma. Unfortunately, means the ammo is coming out, so that's a lot of money wasted if we die. But we have money saved up. Got some more weapon attachments here. Nothing too exciting though. Open this. Fuel conditioner, very good money. Crackers, we don't really need it right now. And I don't have the other key for that room. So out we go. We move on to the second floor. Still not hearing much. And then 226. This room is probably one of the most profitable. It's the one a lot of people run to. Mainly because behind the door here, we have this one. Which I have found multiple lead X's with and a lot of meds. So, it's not bad. It's not hugely profitable this time. Well, it is still a profit, but not a huge amount of items, but we've got a bunch of meds, that's not bad. Run over here, check the grenade box. Nothing in the grenade box. We found another graphics card. This is actually kind of terrifying now that we're finding a lot of stuff, because that's like 600k worth of stuff. So I'm going to throw out the survive kit, throw that in there, and throw the condensed milk in. Our purified water just finished. That's nice too. So the condensed milk's usually worth a decent amount as well for the one slot item. Got a little Glock in there, we can take that. Just to fill up our pistol slot. Nothing in there. Sometimes you can get through that. Yeah, there we go. If you open that. So we're looking pretty... Was that me? Yeah, it was. We're looking kind of healthy on the money situation. So we're going to throw into 18 just to test our luck. Because if we go all the way over here, on this table spawns a red key card. Probably one of the most expensive items in the game. But we didn't get lucky this time. There's a couple more spawns we can check if we're safe and lucky, or we don't want to be too greedy. We're getting a little bit full, but a lot of stuff is here we can actually just drop for some better loot. So we'll keep on going this way. We don't actually have any more keys for this floor. And I just absolutely pooped my pants because I did not hear that guy and I did not check behind here. So we're gonna just hide in here for a second and heal up. We got very, very lucky there that he did not kill us. He had us dead to rights, and this is why you need to be extremely careful in the resort, whether it's nighttime or daytime. Luckily, he must not have had too many good bullets, because we didn't actually take much health damage, but our armor did take a bit of a pounding there. So we'll reload, make sure our mag's full. Check the corridor quick. Take his dog tag, take his gun. Check his pockets. We'll take his tri-jip. And check his rig. Nothing else. Okay. So. Now that we've trying to calm down a little bit after getting absolutely terrified by a guy hiding around the corner. We look up here. I'm checking both of these doors. We've passed them already, but he might have unlocked them. I unlocked this one. We'll come in, close the door, and before we start looting, I'm going to sit and pack this mag. And give you an example of how long this actually takes. My mag drill skills, I think, are like level 3, so they're a little bit upgraded, but at the same time, this is just a long time. Unfortunately, we didn't actually fire that many bullets. It felt like we fired a lot more, but here we go. All our mags are now full. We can look at our task. We have another kill for it, which is very nice. And now that we're all packed and ready to go, we can see what loot is in here. So there's two ways you can do stuff when you put a backpack in a backpack. If it gets too busy and you have more than one, you can't really do this, but I like to just throw things straight in the backpack and it will kind of fix itself. You may need to go in at some point if you've got some bigger items and fix it yourself. Like right now, I would probably do this so I can fit a 2-slot in there just by dragging it like this. But usually you can get away with it depending on how full this is. So this room is just mainly a computer room. Sometimes money spawns on the desks, but you should be looking inside the computers like this, just in case you have graphics cards or anything else you need, but also in the little USB slots as well. Because a flash drive could spawn, and they're usually worth a decent bit of money. Especially early in the raid. I've actually just noticed searching this, we actually have some money here as well. So we can take that and throw that in our suitcase. And stack them up so we have the space we need. I also have this key so we can unlock this. Check corners again before we move on. I'm going to sit in here and start actually looking through this stuff so we have some space. So I'm going to drop these car med kits. They're not that useful. I'm going to keep the painkillers for now and keep everything else. We have 4 slots there and we have 6 here. The water, we won't drop, but we will use if we want to get the space. So drop down here. Quick check of the corridor, because people like to look over there and it's very dangerous trying to get that glass corridor done. Before we run over there though, to the other wing, I want to check over here. And I'm glad I did, because the key spawned. We have this key already, but it's the 226 key, that room that spawns the LEDX and a lot of meds that we were in before. But it's worth a decent bit of money, so a spare one of them won't go amiss. Got kind of lucky with that. So we safely got through. We're hearing people. multiple people. So I'm going to throw a flashbang just in case it's this floor. And 2 down. Okay. So this door is already unlocked, so we know that it's probably been looted. So let's take this guy's gun for the time being. Take all his stuff, see what's in his backpack. Anything worth it, some euros, I'll take those. Restack up. Drink his palm juice. We like bolts, so we're taking that in the CPU just now. We're gonna drop the bullets. We'll take the splints once the animation is finished. Splints and H2O, check his pockets. Another grenade. Another grenade. I'm not going to take the Salebas and the ibuprofen right now. I feel like I don't need them. And we're quickly going to check this guy too. Drop the first guy's AK for this one because it's better. Another Glock would be nice, so drop the PM and take the Glock. See what's in his bag. Some stuff we would probably like to take. So drop this and this. Take that. Take the mail. The mail's worth some money. I'm going to drop the horse for the red gunpowder. I'm going to throw a flashlight on there. Search this while we work this out. I think we might be good. The Grack can go. We'll take another IFAK and another full ibuprofen. So at this point, I think it's time to maybe go. But first, I just want to double check the task. We're up to 8 now. That's 3 PMC kills already. We'll sit and pack the mag. Take our time. We don't want to go too mental at this. And just see what else we have. So this is a reflex sight that we can't throw anywhere right now. Just trying to think of things we can save space on. But I think we're doing not too bad for what loot we have. Yeah, not terrible actually. We've been hitting the head a little as well. I don't know what got hit. It wasn't our very high level armor faceplate. It was the actual helmet. Because the guy hiding behind the corner must have hit us in the back of the head. So we got extremely lucky. Oh. Next. We're full. Organize our rig a bit. We're going to move on. I'm going to try and get out. So our extraction is tunnel. It's our main extraction. Before we go out completely, I want to just take the risk and check down here. Because in one of these sometimes spawns a red key card. But apparently not today. So it's time for us to actually get out of here with the loot we've got. So we want to go this way. Take our time, listen out. Be mindful that although we've killed 3 PMCs, it doesn't mean there's not more hiding around corners. And just sprint out. Hug this wall. And I hugged this wall purely because if I ran on that wall, people upstairs could see me if they looked out the window. I want to make sure no one can just peek out and kill me. It also means that I get a better kind of ear to if there's anyone running around the rooms looting things. But now, we're just gonna bounce out. Down the hill. Try and not run in a straight line and use all the rocks and the foliage for cover so people have a harder time seeing us. I want to actually check how dark it is. It's super dark without the night vision. These ones are nice because they give you pretty much full view. You might be able to tell on the four corners of the screen. There's a little bit of blackness that you can't actually see. Depending on what night vision goggles you use, you actually get less vision. And they could be more grainy. They could deal with light sources being more glare, blinding, stuff like that. I don't have too much experience using all the different ones, but I've used two different ones mainly this wipe. These ones that I got from a task completion, and the ones you can buy from Skier, kind of cheap. But here, we're coming, because we have a key for this cottage. I heard the bugs there. I thought it was a footstep, but with here, you can jump over the fence. And although it is a little bit greedy, we're going to check at least this house, maybe the second house too. So I like to come up to the door. Check that it's locked. It is. So this house has not been looted at all. Open the door. Close it. And come inside. Before I go upstairs to where the actual loot spawns, I like to look at this jacket. Just in case there's a nice key on it. This key, not that useful. I've turned myself around, but upstairs we go. I like to open these doors, and while I'm waiting for them to open, I missed this one. I like to come in here and check the weapon cabinet, which is empty. The computer is also empty. We'll come in here, check this safe. Open our sick case. Throw the euros in. Stack the rubles and throw them in. Next room, we have another weapon safe. Again, it's empty. We've got the key for this. So we unlock this safe and loot it too. Safes can be pretty good for loot. Not just some rubles or euros or dollars. They can spawn some high value stuff too. We hear a bush. That's most likely a scav. It definitely is a scav, okay. So we need to be careful, because scavs are fucking dangerous. They're very, very dangerous. Especially at nighttime. Their vision is a lot bigger than you'd think. And we missed him. We got him that time. Just wants to see what he has and check his pockets. We'll take this off. Pockets were not useful. I hide in here for a second while that scav's angry, so I can explain a little bit about what I did with the shotgun. So these shotguns have these spruts, and what you can do with these, I can give an example while the scav comes up on this. For one slot, you can fit on 3 laser sights, which is really, really useful for some space safe space saving. Okay, so he's kicked open a door. Well, what we're gonna do is jump up here, go over here. I believe he's inside, so this is kind of scary. Running past the windows. Oh, there he is. So he must have kicked open this door. Just hose him down, and we'll try and loot in here before we leave. Just throw some bullets in while we're searching. Machinery key is an early quest key, so we don't need that. And the checkpoint key is actually not bad. Why am I doing leaving that? I'm being a pepega. Don't have any room in my sick case, so that will have to go in my rig or wherever space I have. We'll do the same thing we did last time. Open this door, look in here. Here's a computer. We can continue packing mags while we search things, just to make sure we have extra full mags. Little gun case here. People sometimes seem to forget this thing exists. Or don't actually know this. It is a gun cabinet, but up here is a safe. The safes today have not been that amazing, but that's okay. We've got a decent amount of loot anyway. But neither of these safes actually need a key, so it's actually pretty good. Got a GP coin out of this. It's been a while since I've seen one of those, so we're going to want to keep that. And just before we leave, we're just going to finish packing this. So, as opposed to the first cottage we went into, this one is actually open all the time, and you don't need a key for either of the safes, so it's kind of worth checking it, no matter what. So once we're done packing, I'm looking here, noticing my hydration's a bit low and my energy's a bit low. This only gives you hydration. I'm going to drink it anyway. It gives us some space. We don't really want to look for space right now. And we're hearing gunshots in the distance. So what we're going to do is just start moving out. Open the door. Before we leave, because I always forget to do this, we can go to the back room here of this house. And here is another key thing. I've never seen which key spawns here, but it does have a key spawn. And we got some more red gunpowder out of the duffel bag just under it, so it's not a wasted little trip looking for that key. I'm not risking that duffel bag. Check both sides for scavs. Keeping an ear out. Check what's on this scav. He has a shotgun. It doesn't have a sprut, so we don't need to worry about that. Here's a bar of chocolate and an empty bag. So it's time to run to the extract. So this extract we need to be quite careful about going to, whether it be night or day. Because not only does scab spawn around it, people like to kind of hang out around here. There's some nasty, nasty spots people can hide in. Whether it be this hill to our right here, or up on the cliffs, or just kind of around the cars and everything. There's a lot of spots people could be. So as long as you listen out, in case they move, or they're running away, or shuffling around, and you keep your eyes open, just looking everywhere, you should be okay. Just make sure every time you try and extract, you're not thinking, oh, it's the end of the raid, no one's going to be here, no matter what time it is. It could be 5 minutes to the end, it could be 30 minutes to the end. Never assume it's safe. Not until you've checked it. And even after you've checked it, just keep a bit cautious. Now this is tunnel extract, it's actually quite large. I like to go down this way, because you can kind of crouch down here and hide behind this rock. And I just heard a footstep just as I left. So, proof there, you're not actually always safe. But we did it. We survived a PMC run. The first PMC run of this little series of ours has actually been pretty successful. We've got a lot of stuff in our bags, and we can check our stats once the game loads up here. So, we're not looking too much about the XP, because honestly our levels don't really matter right now. We've got 6k, so if this was a normal run, that would be pretty good for us. So we killed our 3 PMCs, the 2 scavs by the cottages. We've got all our stats here. Got our little XP. And let's do a little quick look at our loot here. Let's see what we can do and what we want to do with it. Because, like last time on our scav run, I like to kind of explain my thought process behind all the loot we've got and what I'm going to do with it after the successful raids happen. So, what we can do, we have one of these keys, so that's going to get sold. We'll put that at the top. We don't need these, so we'll take everything off the sprut and put the sprut in. We're going to keep these. so these can stay here for now. We're going to lose the Glock, lose the AK. We have plenty of guns right now, so I'm okay with losing an AK. A second Glock to sell. We're selling this. We could probably sell this too. This is keeping because this is ours. We're keeping all these. We're keeping these. We're keeping that. Keeping that. Selling. 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 Keeping. So keep those. This can sell. This can sell. We're keeping that. We're selling that. We'll sell the painkillers because we don't actually need them that much. And then important things. So now that we've kind of sorted out what we're selling and keeping, I can throw things away. So we're keeping the gunpowder for crafting. We can actually put this in here, because I sorted out my med cases before I started recording this. So I'd just like to have these just in case. I think Zagustin gives me hand tremors. It does. So after 70 seconds it gives me hand tremors that could be useful for one of my tasks that I need to kill PMCs with headshots while I have tremors. I keep all these for trades and crafting. So we're just keeping a stock of all this while our inventory gets a bit full. We'll throw our IFAKs in our raid med case just because we use them every time we go out. Although one of them needs to stay because it's for our gamma container as well as this. We don't have any space for the survive kit, so it's just going to have to stay in there. Scroll all the way down again. We'll throw in this. Keep it a little bit organized. Throw open this again because we're keeping the gold chain. We're keeping the roller. And I'm just going to sell this and we'll throw these in. These graphics cards. As expensive as they are, I like to get my bitcoins a bit faster. So we'll throw both of them in here. Take some time off our bitcoins getting made. We'll get our purified water to throw into the booze generator to make moonshine, which we use for this scav craze. Every few hours we get some loot for a moonshine. We can go back up to the top, disassemble the gun, and check out this. So we can throw that there. Put the insured backpack there. And then open all our bags within bags within bags. We'll throw this bag in here to put this in here. We can now equip our bag again. Throw everything back down here that needs to be. Our GP coin. We can put in valuables, I think, for now. Throw it in a different place than all the other items I have. And there we are. We're sorted for our loot. I'll get to selling this, well, off the video. So, there's a successful Shoreline raid for you. Hopefully that was kind of informative. Give you a little bit of interesting insights about how I play Tarkov, and probably entertain you while I have some scary encounters with BMCs and a really lucky 2-man kill. It was actually kind of nice. I'm kind of proud of myself about that one. So, thanks everyone so much for watching and hanging out. The next video will be either a scav run. Again, I might alternate. I might alternate between scav run and PMC runs. I've not quite decided yet, but the next PMC run, thanks to some people voting on Twitter, is going to be a labs run, which is a lot scarier. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.